Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Friday 13th YouTube album reviews. Today we're going to be talking about a fantastic new album that's coming out on Metal Blade Records. This is the debut by a band called A to Z, who are releasing their first album on the 12th of August 2022 on Metal Blade Records. Now I have to say this is pretty much a super group and there's some really fantastic musicians on here. First of all, it's been put together by former Fates Warning drummer and Warlord drummer Mark Zonder, who's a fantastic drummer as we all know. He's done some fantastic albums in the past. He's done plenty of projects including Graham Bonnet. Now Mark's also involvement with Ray Alday, who's involved with this album. As we all know, he's with Fates Warning, still a fantastic singer. He's one of my favourite singers and he joined Fates Warning on the No Exit album. On bass guitar we've got Philip Bjorn, who's been involved with Steve Vai and also Warlord. As we know that Philip's a fantastic bass player. To be with Steve Vai, it does say something, and he does really play really well on this album. Now this band is a multinational, international band. We've also got a Dutch guitarist called Joop Volpers, who's also been involved with Lado and plenty of other albums and bands. He's also done his own solo albums. And on keyboards we've got Vivian Lalou from the band Lalou. So Joop and Lalou and Vivian are on the same band together, Lalou, who have done fantastic albums in the past and have released their new album recently, the last few months, called Paint the Skies on Frontier Records. Now I grew up with a lot of progressive metal bands. I've been really into this music for some time now, and two of my favourite bands is Fates Warning and Psychotic Waltz, but there's also some fantastic other bands out there. I guess you could say Dream Theater started the whole progressive metal thing, but there's bands before Dream Theater, as we all know. Now Mark's been involved with lots and lots of projects in the past, playing on various albums, and has also been involved with other projects. The same goes for Ray. Ray did a solo album last year, 2 years ago, which is a fantastic album on Inside Out Records. Now I have to say that Lalou, Paint the Skies new album is one of my favourite albums in the prog metal scene of 2022. And the same goes for A to Z, which I think is on par with Lalou's album. Two fantastic albums that you really need to check out. Now when I first got this new album AZ, I was really looking forward to hearing it. I'm really excited about the project, or band as you would say. So there's some fantastic songs in this album and some fantastic influences. Now, Ray being in Fates Warning, you're always going to get that stigma of Fates Warning attached to AZ. It's expected, but Ray's a fantastic singer and he can prove that he can do stuff outside of Fates Warning. I also really like Mark Zonder's drumming. He's a fantastic drummer. He mixes rock with jazz, progressive, reggae. It all seems to blend well and it does actually show on this album. As for bass player Philip, he's a fantastic bass player. He's just pretty much all over the place. He's really put his thought into this album and it shows. Some really fantastic technical bass playing. Now Dutch guitarist Joop, who's a fantastic guitarist, like I said, he's very much influenced by, or his guitar playing, I'd say Neil Schon from Journey, and it shows in this album. A little bit of Dream Theater in there, John Petrucci. You can also hear elements of Tony McAlpine and Joop's playing, which is another fantastic guitarist. As for keyboard wizard from France, Vivian Lalou is a fantastic keyboard player. He's a really good composer that comes up with some fantastic ideas. Now this album was recorded in the US, Spain, the Netherlands and France. It's a multicultural recording album, but most of the recording was done by Mark Zonder in LA. The mixture and mastering was done at Mark's studio, which is called Moon Park Recordings, a fantastic studio, and this album has got a fantastic production, really nice solid drum sound, nice guitar sound, keyboards, bass guitar, and the vocals are fantastic. So it's a really solid album with some really catchy tunes. Now the album comes with 11 songs, there's some fantastic songs, and the band have released 2 promotional videos for this album. The first song is Trial by Fire, and the next song is called The Machine Gunner, which is 2 fantastic songs. If you've heard them on YouTube, you'll know just how good they are. Fantastic musicianship, great vocals, great song in general. Now I have to say, for me, there is not one bad song on this album. I sincerely mean this. This is a fantastic, solid album. Really well thought out album. Different from a lot of progressive metal albums, but it's a really catchy album with some fantastic songs. I guess you could say the music's kind of like Fates Warning, a little bit of Lalou, a little bit of Journey, a little bit of Kansas. It's a mixture of progressive rock and metal, and like I said, every song on this album for me personally is a fantastic album. So I'm not going to tell you what my favourite songs as such, but I will point out some of the songs that I do like more than the rest of the album. Now when I got this album I actually played it about 8 times in a row, just constantly played it for 8 times, and I was really getting into it. And the songs that I really like most are Rise Again is a fantastic song. We've also got Runaway, Window Panes, and also Stranded. and At the Water's Edge, along with Borrow Time. Like I said, every song on this album, 11 songs, are fantastic. There's not one bad song. And I just hope the band can continue to write solid material for the next album. I'm pretty sure they will, because they're all fantastic musicians. So, if you want to check out this album, please do. There's 11 fantastic songs of prog, metal, hard rock. I'm going to give this album 5 out of 5. And it comes out on the 12th of August 2022 on Metal Blade Records. It's self-titled, a fantastic album. And the cover is really interesting too. I'd just like to point this out before I finish. AZ, you're thinking, weird name for a band album cover, but when you look at the album cover, you've got a zebra with an apple in its mouth, so you could say A for apple, Z for zebra. So it's a really catchy cover, and it really does go well with the album. So, folks, brilliant album, check it out, you won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching.